Well, I guess initially I had a couple of concerns about making the commitment to the optimal outcome, and I think the first one was that I was concerned that there wouldn't be enough content in the material in the program, and there wouldn't be enough structure in the program. And boy, was I mistaken on that. Once we committed to the program, they sent these two gigantic 3-ring binders with multiple packets inside them with all of the activity that was in the homework that we were going to be learning over the next 18 months. So there is no lack of content. In fact, there's a ton of content that you're going to cover. As far as the structure, our coach was really good about making sure that we knew what our schedule was, knew what was expected of us each week that we had our conference call. The conference calls were very well organized, asking for an agenda for the call and wrapping up on time, and then just the continuation of checking in on us to see what our progress was and making sure that we understood the material before we moved on. The second concern I had was, could I justify the expense of the optimal outcome program? And I certainly can say unequivocally that the expense, I don't look at it as a drain on the bottom line of my business. I truly look at it as an investment for a variety of reasons, including the fact that my business is becoming more process focused and more systematic. And secondly, I think that there's a clear path to increasing the value of my business somewhere down the road when I decide to sell it. What I've learned in the last 9-10 months with optimal outcome so far, I think differently about my business. And yes, we learn to call our practice a business because it is a business. For me, I no longer see what I do as simply an occupation anymore, but I see myself the owner and operator of a small business that counts on me to generate revenue and be productive. The second thing now is that I certainly see the need for structure and having processes documented and published in place, because those processes and that structure that's in place allows me to do what I like to do most in my practice, in my business, is getting out and spending time with clients and with prospects. So that, I think, is one of the bigger takeaways for me. And then lastly, I understand now that having a well-run business with structure and processes in place is going to increase the multiple of the value of my business when I decide to sell my business somewhere down the road, if that's 10 or 15 years from now. I know my business will bring more money as a well-run business as opposed to just a collection of clients and assets under management. Those, I think, are the big takeaways that I've experienced so far from optimal outcome, and I'm looking forward to the next 6 months in the training program. Joe?